If you lead your life with discipline, you try and follow these divine principles and fundamentals, the higher Dharma, and direct your life in the direction that brings greater prosperity and peace and love into your heart, right? It will naturally come through you, depending on the decision and the choices, the behaviors, the emotions, the states of mind that you engage with. When you enter into higher states of consciousness, you suddenly start to be aware of choice. Suddenly you can step back from your thoughts and your emotions and decide, am I going to continue down this path from this state of mind, from this emotion, or I'm going to try something different, something that brings greater peace and love and energy into my life, that calls upon my strength instead of my weakness in this moment? What am I going to pull forth into my reality right now? And then you choose to do that and you put in the work, knowing that this divine energy, right, as so long as you are following those divine principles, it will support you. It will take care of you. It will come forward. It will come forward before you. It will take care of you, prepare the way. It'll govern your life in your totality. Even if the circumstance doesn't turn out the way you expected to, it might turn out better. Maybe it wasn't what divine wanted for you in that moment because there's something better for you later. If you get the job now, maybe there's a better job for you in 2 months from now. But you freak out and you panic because you didn't get the job today. Maybe there's one 2 months from now that's more aligned with your destiny, with your life purpose, one that's more satisfying to your soul, one that has maybe a greater income, a higher salary. You don't know what it could be. So to rely on expectation and what we think is good, what we think is right, instead of what we think divine would want for us, what we see is right in accordance with the divine truths of life. The impartiality that divine, everybody is worthy. Everybody must be taken care of. Everybody must be loved. To act without selfishness or judgment. All of these things promote our connection with our divinity within. Every moment is a reminder for us to connect, for us to discipline our lives and our minds and our emotions, and to choose a path or an emotion or a state of mind that is in alignment with the high, lofty goal of being divinely guided instead of ego-driven. And you'll see the outcome. If you're not seeing the outcome, reassess, self-reflect, see what you're missing, see what you're not doing. Look at the ways and aspects of life in which you are losing energy, where you are depleting yourself, where you are falling into old habits and behaviors. And look at the parts and aspects of life, the things in life that bring you greater joy and peace, real joy, not that excitement that has satiation, but the joy that is everlasting and comes from calmness, peace, but is still a high, high elation. An ecstatic place of being, one that shows you beauty, that makes you forget about yourself, that connects you to something bigger than yourself. Look at those moments and those parts of your life that connect you with those moments and engage with those things. Engage with those parts of life. Do something different. Change the monotony, change the routine. Maybe the routine's no longer helping you. Maybe the routine is just perpetuating your current identity, your current form, your current parameters of consciousness. Maybe you need to change up your routine, do something different every day, lead a new life, go out in the world, find new people, attempt something new. And it's only when you follow these divine principles and fundamentals, when you address things at the level of consciousness, that you can really reap the wonderful benefits of meditation. Because when the mind is finally under your control, when you're interacting with life in a way that perpetuates and brings stillness within you, you're not living with regret or feeling shame or humiliation, or you're not living in a place of feeling inferior or like you haven't done enough, you haven't taken responsibility for something, you still have 100 different bills you need to pay, and you haven't paid them yet, right? A bunch of different parts and ways of your life that you're losing energy and you don't even realize it. And it's affecting your state of mind, because lower energy states, more thoughts. Because thoughts inhibit that flow of consciousness. They naturally bring you down energetically. So if we take responsibility and we do the things that we need to do as perfectly as we can do them, right? Clean your house, keep everything in order, clean up your life, clean up your finances, clean up your relationships. If there's a relationship that maybe they're a good person, but you keep dropping in energy when you're with that person, maybe you need to re-evaluate that relationship. Maybe spend less time with them. Maybe not get rid of them altogether, but maybe you need to spend less time if you can't control how you interact with them. Because all of these things, nobody can affect your own consciousness except for you. We like to blame others and situations and things outside of ourselves, but really the only thing that can affect our own consciousness is our own self, our own ways that we lead and engage with life, that we, the emotions we're not able to control, the thoughts we're not able to focus on and divert. The lower parts of our being that we engage with and give more power to. When we start to tighten up our life, we find our minds start to go into a point of quiescence. It becomes silent, it becomes quiet. When our emotions aren't in turmoil, then it's easier to maintain the quietness of the mind. And as a result, when you actually sit down and do meditate, then something might actually happen. You can actually go into high states of divine awareness. You can experience ecstasy and bliss. You can experience trance-like states, samadhi. And each time you go into a samadhi, a trance-like state, part of you dissolves and you bring more God into this world. There is more of that divine embodiment, where there is more of this power that you're able to create and store and utilize to even create more success, more happiness, or simply to bring more of God into your life, to connect more to God, to have more of that bliss. Because God is not God is not a sterile concept. God is not in a petri dish to be evaluated and examined. God is like this, God is like that. God is love, God is peace, God is joy. No, God is feeling. God is love here, not here. And the more God is love here, the more of that grace can perform miracles in your life. You start to feel God is joy, incomprehensible joy. So I don't know why anybody would never want to go out and look for that joy. Would you want success if it didn't have joy in it? Would you want a relationship if it didn't have joy in it? Would you want anything in your life? A new car, a new house, children? Would you want anything if there was no joy in it? Our own soul is telling us what we want. We want this joy. Whether we're conscious of it or not, even our unconscious mind seeks it. And finding God, self realization, enlightenment is the greatest completion, the greatest joy, the greatest happiness, the greatest fulfilled desire you could ever have or want or need. And it makes every moment of pain, every tear that has been shed, everything you've ever had to struggle and fight for, all of it is worth it. Even to just go into samadhi for a moment. Suddenly it's all worth it. If that's all that you get, it's worth it.